bring on these standards. They make my life better. It's a new standard for how I treat myself and how others treat me, and by extension, how I treat them. So as I raise my standards for how I treat me, I also raise my standards for how I treat others. What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Welcome to another episode of Roxy Talks, where we discuss confidence, mindset, manifestation, and more. I'm Roxy Lee, and I'm a mindset coach, and I'm here to help make manifesting make sense. I teach using my signature approach, the 360 method, which combines awareness and discipline to help you become an expert manifester on autopilot. Find out more about that at roxytalks.com. I've got amazing courses and programs that you can get started on right away that will help you manifest whatever it is you desire in life. Today we're talking about boundaries. Boundaries are so important for allowing you to not only become your ideal, but do it in the healthiest, most productive way while still maintaining beautiful relationships. So many of us are operating with really murky ass boundaries. Like, no offense, some don't even have any, right? Some have very little. Some of us are really murky. Some of us are super low. We're allowing in way too much that we shouldn't, and it's causing us harm. It's affecting our relationships. It's affecting our self-esteem. It's affecting how we live our lives and go about creating abundance and happiness in our worlds. So we're going to talk about setting boundaries and, most importantly, enforcing them, because I find that that's usually where the issue comes in. Of course, having boundaries is very important, but do you enforce them? Because that's what really matters. A rule is only really a rule if it's enforced. Think about laws that people don't abide by all the time. Actually, there's a bunch of fucked up laws in U.S. history that we shouldn't abide by, thank God. So just think about it like that if you set a boundary in place, then there must be some sort of accountability for it, because if the boundary is allowed to be crossed, then what's the fucking point? Why even have it there? Why stress yourself even having the conversation? So the first part of communicating and setting boundaries is going to be figuring out what it is that you no longer allow. What is your rule set? If we're talking relationships, what are people allowed and not allowed to do, say, and act like around you? What do you stand for? What will you not stand for? If you want others to abide by your boundaries, it's crucial that you know what they are first. So the first thing you're going to want to do is sit down and figure out, what are my boundaries? What is my do not fucking crossy line? What is your bottom rung? What is the lowest standard that you will accept? And let's take it a step up. Like, how about this? What is your lowest standard? And then let's raise that a bit. What is the lowest standard? And raise that bitch. Let's raise it a bit, because I promise you it's way too fucking low. Even your lowest standard raise a bit is still too fucking low, but let's start there, okay? We don't want to rock the boat too hard, okay? But you need to figure out what your standard is, what it is going to be, what are the boundaries, where is the line? Figure that out. Then your job is not necessarily to communicate them right away. Not saying that you shouldn't, of course, communicate your boundaries, but there's a very important step in between that needs to be addressed. And that is that you need to become okay with your boundaries. You need to make them okay. You need to normalize them. You need to be so sold on them that it's not a question. And the thing is that you're already doing it. You already have boundaries and standards in place that you don't realize are there, because it's your normal. It's your bandwidth of what you have decided you will allow as treatment for you on planet Earth. However, that can be expanded, that can be changed. Just like any belief system, it can be adjusted and moved and worked on. So you're going to decide now that what your standard is now, again, is no longer the minimum. That's below bare minimum. We're raising the bar. We have a new bottom rung, and we are not going to stand for XYZ blah, blah, blah anymore. Once you've done that, again, now it's time to It feels good. I like setting this standard. I'm glad I put my foot down. It feels good to put my foot down. That boundary feels good. I like the way that sounds. That has a nice ring to it. I'm glad that people understand and respect the fact that these are my standards. I'm glad that I set this standard for myself. This is a great standard to have. This is going to make me happy. I'm going to thrive like this. I love the fact that I'm setting this standard for myself. I'm just making shit up. But what I'm not doing in those moments is being like, but what if somebody, I don't know if that, but I don't want to hurt anybody, but I don't want to make people mad. I don't want them to reject me because I did my standard, blah, all that stuff, right? That's what I'm not doing. And that's what's going to help me rewrite this pattern in my mind and manifest a different reality where motherfuckers don't cross my goddamn boundaries. Okay? So I'm setting the environment up to allow myself to be okay with having standards so that when I do have to eventually enforce them, it's not so hard. I'm not bridging this massive gap from I don't deserve to have my needs met to, oh fuck, now I have to tell somebody they crossed the line. Yeah. A line I didn't even tell them was in place? Oh God, no. Never mind. I'll just keep getting trampled on, right? No more. Hey, it's Roxy from the future here, just stopping by to let you know about our amazing Confidence Bootcamp live group program. I've never hosted a group program like this. Every one that I do, I want to be different and special and unique so that anybody that's joining gets a fun, exciting, and transformative experience. And anybody that's coming back program after program, or if you're in Synergy, of course, that's my monthly subscription that gets you access to all of my group programs. I want it to feel special every time. So the Confidence Bootcamp that we are hosting for the month of October is going to shake things up. We're doing it different. I'm pushing you out of your comfort zone with love. There will be a net to catch you, but I want to see you leap. I want to see you make big commitments to yourself and to your growth and to your change. And I'm going to be there with you every step of the way, helping you build the confidence that you desire to achieve any reality you want. Sign up for the Confidence Bootcamp at roxytalks.com. We're going to be affirming that people are supportive of our new boundaries. They're supportive of our boundaries, period. They're supportive of us having standards for ourselves. They're not angry. They're glad I said it. They're glad they know where the line is. Now they know where the line is. They don't have to worry about crossing it. Because that's another thing is like, sometimes people cross the line just because they don't fucking know there is one. And we can't always be mad at somebody for crossing a line we didn't communicate to them existed. And we're feeling comfortable with it. We're becoming accustomed to the fact that there is a line, and we're okay with the fact that there's a line. We kind of like the fact that there's a line. The line protects us. The line keeps us safe, and the line keeps us in a place where we thrive. Fuck yeah, bring on these lines. Bring on these standards. They make my life better. It's a new standard for how I treat myself and how others treat me, and by extension, how I treat them. Because now that I know that I have these standards in place, what I'm not going to do is treat you past my standard for how I treat myself and how I expect others to treat me, because I'm a normal adult human being and I understand that you get what you get, right? So as I raise my standards for how I treat me, I also raise my standards for how I treat others. And it makes my relationships better. And as I'm doing that, I'm also affirming they're supportive, they're kind, they love it, they like my standards, and maybe they're inspired too, and they're setting their own standards, which is making their lives better too. So normalize the idea of having standards and boundaries. It's great to do it. I love my boundaries and standards, and I love the fact that the people around me respect them and get them and love me and appreciate me because of them. So I want you to comment down below. I am thriving in the world I've built for myself. I'm thriving in the world I've built for myself because I want you to get into the idea that I'm building something, I'm building a structure, I'm building walls around me with love, not to keep people out, but to set the stage for what is allowed and what is not so that I can continue experiencing the best this life has to offer. Now, if you are ready to dive into your own situation and get some help on what's going on in your world, manifest your ideal reality, head to roxytalks.com. I have amazing programs and workshops you can get started on right away that will help you manifest anything in your ideal reality. We've also got an amazing supportive place for all of our manifestors to gather, community.roxytalks.com, and check me out on social media, podcast, iTunes, Spotify, and more. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm here for you. I love you. I appreciate you. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you.